Bonjour and welcome to another thrilling episode of Famous Interviews. And today's planned guest was famous and was thrilling. She, surprise, was an actress par excellence, winner of multiple Oscars, and many other awards too numerous to count. But I did. 58. 58! Yes! Goodness. Of course, that covered a career of over 7 decades. But really, 58 and 70 years is only about 8 in every 10 years, less than 1 a year. So not so much after all, is it? I've still got time to catch up. Of course, I'm still waiting for my first award, but... And I haven't 7 decenniums left to catch up. But it's not a competition, is it? Not even with the self. That's what my yoga instructor keeps insisting. But I have my doubts. And really, who could compete with the very model of a modern major talent like hers? The very thing is, her career spanned so many years she was able to conquer young roles, middle-aged roles, and finally old roles. I have a few old roles myself, but they're well cinched. C'est le gras. Now, I don't want to itemize her immense inventory, catalogue her career accomplishments, enumerate her entire oeuvre before she joins us, or we'll have very little left to chat about. And if there's one thing I hate in a chat show, it's the sound of silence. Unless it's coming from Paul Simon, then I absolutely adore it. I wonder, Egbert, is Paul Simon still... Oh, yes? Pity. Can't be too far off. He'll be homeward bound soon enough, crossing the 59th Street Bridge over troubled waters to Graceland before you can call me Al. Perhaps even while we're still on the air. And don't call me Al. Or maybe we can just conjure him up live. Wouldn't that be a terrific triumph? But I digest. So now I shall have a sit down and a swallow up, and then fashion some conjuring sorcery to materialize today's magnificent visitante, the wonderful witch and daunting dowager herself, Maggie Smith. Yes, I can feel your excitement abutting mine. Cheers. So simple and yet so soothing. One of the finest French Burgundies from the Boudoir Valley. Alors, without further fuss or ado, let us commence la convocation. I call to impel, up there where you dwell, descend your stairwell. Marvelous Maggie, come and have a chat with me, a seat, a gab, a titter. Appear here now for all to see your sparkle, shine, and glitter. Commune with us, Maggie Smith, commune with us. Arise amidst us, materialize betwixt us. And don't dilly-dally, darling, unlike you, we haven't eternity. Dame Maggie Smith, welcome, welcome to Famous Interviews. Please, avez-vous un sit? I am Lady Mary Pozah. So here today we have both a dame and a lady. Yes, I am both a dame and a lady. Or was both. No, both? No, I meant you the dame, I the lady. Are you a lady? Yes. What have you heard? And it appears we are peers, though as popular as my little television program strives to be, it'll never equal your triumphant and marvelous movie career. It wasn't always so marvelous. Sometimes it was awful. What could possibly have been awful about shooting all of those fantastic films? Waiting in a trailer in the snow for about a week, with that daft hat on my head for Harry Potter. But I loved you as headmistress of Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry and head of Gryffindor House. Well, sitting in that trailer day after day and not being used, that doesn't make you feel too jolly. That's a horrid thing. There were other people in the trailer also moaning, like Mary Margot's. You're not alone when you moan. Mary Margot's? The head of Hufflepuff House and her biology professor. How exciting to have shared a trailer with her. But before the Harry Potter films and Downtown Abbey, you were a famous and feted, Feted, as in celebrated, darling, not putrid but praised, not rancid but renowned, not distinguished but disgusting. I mean, just the opposite. Not disgusting but distinguished. Now, after Harry Potter films in the Downtown Abbey, that is Downton Abbey, Downton. Tell that to Petula Clark. Everything's great when you're Downton. I think no. Any road. After that show, did you find yourself? Find myself? I have always known exactly where to look. No, dearest, did you find... Were you aware of being recognized more in public, is what I'm trying to get at. It's ridiculous. I led a perfectly normal life until Downton Abbey. No, I'm not kidding. I'd go to galleries and theatres and things like that on my own, and then I couldn't. And that's, awful. Yes. Well, no, well, that is. I wish I did know. Must be a teensy bit thrilling to be so famous, n'est-ce pas? No. Life was fine. Nobody knew who the hell I was. Then it all changed. People started asking me to recite lines. Recite lines? What? They couldn't see? Something blocking the view? Lines of dialogue. You might want to have your hearing checked. Is it falling off? So you were saying something about sightlines of dialogue? Perhaps a particular point of view, an op-ed. Lines of dialogue as in a script. Of course. Well, why didn't you say so? And what lines did they request? Funny enough, a gentleman once asked me to say, what is a weekend? From the very first Downton episode. And did you say it? Yes, I did. I had to. He was a very wealthy and generous South American, about to fund a very important arts foundation. And I was afraid if I didn't, he'd hold his endowment over my head. Been there, I can't count how many times. Though I was never afraid. After Downton, I was recognized all too much. Well, boo-hoo-hoo, all the way to the bank, I say. Still, it must have been fun wearing all of those lovely costumes and hats. Did becoming a dowager character come easily to you? Yes, it did. And also one is helped enormously by the costume, the clothes and the wig and the hats. I hated the hats. I used to beg them, please, let me take this off. And here you've conjured me just exactly in another one of those hats I detested. Darling, I didn't dress your spirit. It's how you arrived from the great beyond. But when you're put into all that stuff, your character is helped enormously by the people who do that. Costumers, yes, I have to agree. They're quite ingenious in helping to define character. Bob Tacky's been doing me every week for years, and it's still such a perfect fit. Just slips right in. Slips right in? Why, my persona. When he arrives, I'm out of costume and merely merry. But when he's finished me off, I feel quite the lady. Well, I suppose you would need all the help you could get with that. It's second nature to me now, like breathing out and breathing in. Several hours in wardrobe and a wee 3 in the makeup sea. And Viola, here I am. So, did you watch Downton Abbey when it aired? No, I've not seen that. No. It got to a point where it was too late to catch up. And it all merges in my head. I couldn't tell one thing from another now. They gave me the box set, but I never watched that. Surely you've seen the trailers or clips. Yes, you're forced to. But it's, it's always weird. Of course it's weird. Seeing yourself in a... It's always, mirrors are tricky. Indeed they are. Though mine are arranged to catch just the right refraction of light so as to avoid any of my wrong angles, of which, sadly, I have many. Yes. Were you sad when Downton ended? I know I was. No, I really wasn't, because, honestly, by the time we finished, she must have been 110, so she couldn't go on and on and on. She couldn't. Didn't make sense. All right, well, did you receive any other requests from fans on the loose? Fans on the loose? You make it sound like a gang of thieves. Let me rephrase, then. Were you accosted by admirers after any of your other roles? Yes. After the Harry Potter films, very small people used to say hello to me. That was nice. Well, assuming you're not speaking of munchkins but children, I suppose young people knew you only as Professor McGonagall. To them, you had never existed before that role. No, I never had. One kid said to me, were you really a cat? And I heard myself say, just pull yourself together. I mean, how could I have? Well, children can be so impressionable. I remember my sweet son Cecil believing in fairy stories. I tried to set him straight, but he still believes in fairies. So, what made you decide to go into acting in the first place? Do you know, honestly, it's a very peculiar thing. I didn't go to the theatre. I wasn't aware of it at all as a child. It started at school with the English teacher I had who encouraged me. Also, I knew I just had to do it, which was weird. I was never cast in a school play. Never? Why not? Because I was common. Ha! No commoner you, Dame Margaret Natalie Smith. We both travel, or in your case travelled, upper class. I always preferred coach. Quel fromage. Doesn't really matter which compartment, though, does it? Whether business or coach, carriage or cabriolet, dead or alive. We remain always nobility. I was made a name commander of the Order of the British Empire by Queen Elizabeth II. However, did you acquire a title? Funny thing, also from a queen, but well, mine was inherited. Your husband? Well, afraid no. Never married. It's a long story. Abandoned at the altar by the rapscallion sire of me sweet son Cecil. Yeah, well, at least we share that. I have two. Yes? You have to what? Oh dear. I have two sons. Oh, how nice. One for each Oscar. The first for the prime of Miss Jean Brodie in 1969, I believe. Yes, and the second for California Suite in 1978. Co-starring the lovely Michael Caine, who warned, watch her. She'll have that scene from under your feet. You apparently had the ability to dominate scenes and outshine your co-stars. Even the great Sir Laurence Olivier was said to have felt upstaged by your talent. He slapped me. He what? He slapped me on stage in 1964 in the middle of a performance of Othello. I, of course, was playing Desdemona. Well, you suffer jealousy and manipulation both in the play and out. Men, such fragile creatures. Good riddance to sore sore sports, although they can give you sore spots. No, I continued working with him in The Master Builder and Much Ado About Nothing. Well, how brave and bully for you, brava! So, Maggie, if I may be so bold as to call you by your first name? Yes, of course. Merci, or thank you, as you're not French but English, or British, as we like to say, and such a lovely accent. Where exactly were you born? I was born in Ilford. I'm an Essex girl. I don't recognize your accent. From whence do you hail? Well, you see... All right, here it is. I hail from East Jaywick. Oh, never mind then. Yes, moving along apace. How was Ilford, as a child, I mean? I remember almost none of it. We ended up in Oxford, where my father got a job with the public health people. Oh, was he a doctor? No. But what did he do? He worked all the time. Right. What did your parents think of you becoming an actress? Did they approve? They were baffled. They were totally baffled. I think it was mostly, oh, this will pass. But thank heavens it didn't. It didn't what? Pass, darling, pass. Your acting didn't end. In fact, you starred on Broadway in the 1950s when you were only 22 years old, n'est-ce pas? Yes, 1956. It was ghastly. Why do you say that? Well, first of all, I wasn't paid very much. I think it was $16 a week, which even then was really... And I put into a hotel, which of course I could not pay for, but I was rescued by Julie Andrews, who was in My Fair Lady at the time. Julie Andrews, another dame. There's nothing like a dame, and is there nothing in the world. I can't wait to have her on my program. That is, I can wait. Well, I must wait, mustn't I? Quel fromage. Why do you use that silly expression? What silly expression? Quel fromage. It's not silly, dear. It's French. Of course, you were so busy mastering the English tongue, you'd hardly have had time to bone up on these international international idioms. Now, back to Julie Andrews. And she was there in the hotel with Tony Walton, married to Tony Walton. And I was going up in the elevator, weeping, which I did all the time because I was in such distress about the whole thing. And they saw I was weeping and in a terrible state, and they asked me to come and have tea with them. And the tea made everything tip-top. No, not the tea. Julie's agent, he rescued me. From what? Julie Andrews? No, from my financial predicament. Oh, a little do-re-mi from Dear Julie. No, from her agent. Oh, well, all righty then. So what were you doing before Broadway? The National Theatre? Before the new National Theatre, directed by Sir Laurence Olivier, I was at the Old Vic in a company with Jude. Jude? Oh, hey, Jude. No, Jude Law. He must have been too young, if even born. Jude Maccabee. Heavens, no. Judi Dench, surely you've heard of her. Oh, Judi Dench, of course. I love her. She can knock off a sonnet sperm at the moment. And Sir Laurence Olivier asked you to join his company next. He had seen me in The Double Dealer, and that's why he thought I was as marvellous as we all found you. They asked me to do Othello, and I said no. It was way beyond anything I could contemplate. And my husband at the time, Bev, said, "Don't be silly, you've got to. You've absolutely got to." And you did. Then went on to unfold a lifetime of brilliant performances, making it all look so easy. You know, so many people I worked with, wonderful actors, seemed so at ease with it. I always sort of felt like an imposter. I felt that. I always did feel that I was an imposter. I cannot believe that it... Well, I look back and I cannot believe that a lot of it happened. Well, dearest, it did happen. And if you were an imposter, you're a jolly good one, fooling the Academy into giving you 2 Oscars, winning 5 BAFTAs, 4 Emmys, 3 Golden Globes, 2 Turtle Doves, and a Tony and a pear tree. The first Oscar for my favourite prime of Jean Brody. Oh, God. You see, but that's over half a century ago. It's a wonder it's not silent, isn't it? Well, luckily for us, it wasn't. Now, darling, tick-tock. I'm afraid we're only a half-hour program, so we must sadly say goodbye. Cheerio. Au reservoir. Oh, good. I can finally remove this hat. I imagine you can. And anything else you'd like to remove? You understand that spirits don't ordinarily possess wardrobes, don't you? Honestly, I never really gave it a thought. And quel fromage for that? Oh dear, that would be my cue. Thank you for this lovely banter. Now, as you and E.F. Benson like to say, au reservoir. I'm spellbound. Dumbledore found it. Goblin smacked. Stupefied. What's that, Egbert? Dear, I know the difference between dumb and Dumbledore, and gob and goblin, and stupid. Thank you very much. If anyone knows stupid, it's me. Or is it I? Well, how lovely to have had a chat with someone on my own level. What now, Egbert? No, not dead. I haven't achieved that level yet, in case you hadn't noticed. Though some of my reviewers claim otherwise. Of course, I mean a peer, an equal. Maggie! Such a sweet spirit. I get an overwhelming sense of kindness from her, don't you agree? All of that fame didn't go to her head, like so many I won't name, like Tom Cruise, Gwyneth Paltrow, and well, I said I won't name them, and I won't. So now I must watch all of Downton Abbey, just to refresh the joy of spending time with our dearly departed Margaret. I hope you enjoyed our little chinwag and are inspired to achieve whatever it is you wish for most, even if you don't accumulate 58 accolades. I know my reward is the pleasure of spending this brief time with Vus. So that's all for today. Do join me next time for another Empyrean episode where we shall romp through the rapture, stroll in Shangri-La together, just for un few moments, and encounter who knows who. Don't forget to like this episode and subscribe to me channel. So until next time, I am the very model of a modern major MC, known as Lady Mary Pozah, and this has been Famous Interviews. Cheers!